Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. You'll notice a few changes here. It's now SEP board season, so my board is gone, but we've got this great new tapestry up. And I just wanted to say a few quick things before we get started. So today's practice is going to be themed specifically to benefit runners, joggers, power walkers. I've been out doing a little bit of all three almost every morning for the past 2 weeks with my dog and pushing the stroller. So I've really kind of been thinking and wrapping my mind around what muscles we're using in the legs and what stretches we can use to counteract all of the impact that we're putting on the body when we go for these like cardio workouts. So today's practice is going to be it's going to be set up just like my regular yoga practices, but it's actually going to be two parts. The first part is going to be focused on more of a pre-run or a pre-jog stretch. So we'll be starting off kind of slow. We're going to be using blocks and straps. And the second half of the practice is going to be geared more toward post run. So what stretches you would incorporate afterwards. But since this is yoga, we're going to make it all flow somewhat seamlessly. And we will be starting out with some mindfulness and breathing. So we're actually going to be starting reclined. And like I said, a couple of blocks, a strap, and the oils in the diffuser today are jasmine, bergamot, and patchouli. So let's get started. As I said before, we're going to be starting on our backs today. So go ahead, recline back flat on your mat and get comfortable. Allow these first few moments to come into the space, to shift the weight around, and allow the spine to lengthen out, and then begin relaxing into the mat. And as I said before, the first half of this practice is geared before you go out for a run. So this might be the very first movement, the very first bit of stretching you do for the day. So coming into the space, finding the breath, and settling down into your body. Notice what sort of energy you're feeling today. Whether or not you've had coffee, doesn't matter, but just sit with that feeling. What is propelling you? What do you feel motivated by? And maybe you're just feeling exhausted right now, and that's okay too. Another great part of this practice is going to bring some energy into the body, into the mind, to help fuel you through the rest of the day or for your run. So slowly just allow yourself to connect with the breath, taking note of those natural inhales and exhales. And then slowly we'll begin to build on the breath, deepening as you breathe in, extending long as you breathe out. And getting comfortable with this control over the breath always is helpful for any cardio workout. We're going to continue with this deep breathing for 5 more rounds. Take another big inhale. This time exhaling through the mouth. And start coming back to your natural breath. Wiggle out the toes and the fingers. I'm going to join you now down on my mat. On an inhale, reach and extend the arms up overhead. Exhale, just soften here. Keep the length in the body, but relax the spine and the low back. Take another breath in, extend. And as we exhale, we'll walk hands and feet to the right, finding our little banana shape and lengthening out the left side body. Try to keep your shoulders grounded and try not to let the left hip pop up. We want to keep the hips squared to the mat. And if it feels okay here, maybe we cross the left ankle over the right. And maybe we take the right fingers around the left wrist and just give a very gentle pull up and over to the side. Breathe here. Open up that space through the ribs. Inhale, walking back through center, lengthening out. And exhale to the left side. Maybe the ankles cross. Maybe we gently tug up through the right hand. Breathing. And inhale back into center, lengthen out. Squeeze into the bum as you exhale, floating the knees to the chest and wrapping the arms around the legs. Gentle rock from side to side, allowing the back to get massaged. Setting up for a twist, bring the knees to center, let the arms fall open, breathe in. Exhale, knees to the left. Ground the shoulders, relax the legs, maybe look to the right. Engaging the belly as we inhale, knees to center. Exhale to the right side. Ground down and release. Inhale, knees coming to center. And before we come into our bridge, we're going to stretch out the legs. So find your strap. And we'll start with the left foot. So bring the left foot into the chest. Strap goes around the ball of the left foot. And as we extend the leg up and back, we're going to be pressing down and forward through the right leg. Both feet are flexed. I can't stress enough how important it is to stretch out the legs before doing any sort of like running or walking activity, because all of those that impact the constant running or the feet on the ground is really going to tighten up the hamstrings, and that's going to put some strain on the back and maybe even into the knees. So allowing these muscles to get a really good stretch before your cardio workout is essential. Relax the shoulders and enjoy it. This is supposed to feel really good. As we open to the side, we'll take the strap in the left hand, keeping the right hip grounded down, and bring the stretch to the adductor muscles, these inner thigh muscles, as well as beginning to open up into the outer hip. And as you breathe and allow the space to open up, you might automatically feel your leg begin to deepen its way into the stretch, but just keep some control using the hand. We don't want to completely flop to the side and let that right hip pop off. Inhale, bring your foot through center, take the strap in the right hand, and move the leg across your body. Keep the left shoulder grounded. And you're going to feel the stretch now into the IT band, all down the outside of that left leg. Both legs are active, both feet are still flexed. And inhale through center. Keep the left foot in the air. We're going to lengthen out just for a couple more breaths here. Maybe you find there's a little more room you can move into.
And then keep the strap on the left foot, but just soften for a moment. You can release on the stretch. We're going to bring that right foot up to meet the left. Don't move deep into the stretch just yet, but align the feet next to each other and then just observe for a moment any differences in sensation or feeling that you are experiencing between the left and right sides. So for me, I definitely feel a bit longer. I feel a little bit more sensation in general, a little bit of tingliness in this left leg. That's probably from the circulation. And then just, I'm flexing deeply into both of my feet here, and I can really feel the difference in the calves between this left stretched leg and my right leg, which is still a little bit tight. So go ahead, remove the left foot from the strap, and then keep this left leg active, pressing down and forward as we begin to lengthen up and back through the right. Upper body is relaxed. Breathing. Enjoy it. Taking the strap in the right hand, left hip stays grounded as we open to the side, bring the stretch to the inner thigh. And I don't know, you may be watching me closely or not right now, but I'm moving into these fairly easily right now because I already stretched out my legs this morning. I kind of wish I'd filmed this morning because I was very, very tight before I went on my run. And so I stretched my legs with a strap. So that's why I'm looking a little bit more open right now, and I already went for my run. But if you're feeling really tight, that's okay. This is the perfect stretch for that. Inhale, bring your leg back through center, strap in the left hand, moving across the body. Right shoulder stays grounded. Your foot does not have to reach the floor. And inhale, coming back to center. Even out the hips, keep that right leg extended. We'll move into that little bit more space we created. So deepening the stretch, not forcing it. Breathing. And then gently let off the stretch. We're keeping the foot in the strap. We're going to float that left foot up to meet the right. Both feet are flexed. And now before we start to move the stretch back into the legs, I want you to think about creating a really nice long spine and a very firm core. So pulling the navel down into the spine and slightly tilting the pelvis forward without puffing the chest to create a little tiny bit of space between your low back and the floor. What we're going to be doing here is coming into a reclined forward bend. And if we keep the back flat to the floor, we have a tendency to round through the lower spine and lift the tailbone. So creating that little bit of space down here is going to keep that low spine nice and long. And we're going to use the support of the core to help us stay in this position. So my shoulders are relaxed, feet are flexed, creating that space between the mat and my back. And then I'm going to slowly start to deepen the stretch into the legs, guiding them back. As soon as you feel the low back collapse to the floor, that's when you need to let off. Make that space. And you're going to notice you're not going to move quite as deep into the stretch as you would, but that's okay. Keep the length up and out through the heels. Breathing. One more big inhale. Exhale, soften. Bend the knees. Remove the strap from the feet so you can place it off to the side, and we'll ground to the feet, setting up for bridge. We're going to be coming onto our tiptoes for bridge, so I'm going to have you scoot the heels a little closer to the bum than you normally would and come onto the toes. This is simultaneously going to help us stretch out the toes. Another really good stretch to do before you run. Walk the shoulders down to lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, flatten the low back to the floor. And as we inhale, squeeze into the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, and lift the hips. You can scoot the back of the head toward the top of the mat. And just find this big, beautiful lift, a nice stretch for the upper back. And then starting to work into these leg muscles as well. Glutes are strong. We're not squeezing the knees together, but we're creating an action as though we're squeezing into the center and breathing. Breathing in. Exhale, slowly release. Keep the heels lifted. Once your tailbone reaches the mat, soften everything. Take a breath. Heels are still lifted. Exhale, flatten the low back to the floor. Inhale, lift the hips. Rolling up. Strong legs here. I usually don't encourage people to open the knees, but since we're up on the toes, we should be fine. We're going to do a little adductor stretch here. So opening the knees to the side. Keep the big toe planted. It's not a big opening here. And then exhale, squeeze them together. Think about those old Thigh Master gym equipment things, right? So just opening the knees. Glutes are very strong. And then squeezing them in. We're still up on the toes. One more time. Opening up. Squeeze into the center. Squeeze the glutes. Breathe in. And then exhale, release. Bring the knees into the chest. And we're going to start to rock and roll up the spine. So swinging the feet up and forward. And eventually coming right up to sit. So coming into a easy seat or a cross-legged position if that's okay. Taking a nice side body stretch. Plant the left hand, inhale, right hand reaches up and over. Big length to the side. Breathing, maybe looking up to the elbow. And inhale, reach up with both hands. We're going to be folding forward here. I just need to scoot back a little bit. So as we exhale, bring the hands down first, and then we're going to fold right down over the feet. So you can let the head, the shoulders round forward. We're beginning to stretch into the hips. Inhale, halfway lift to fingertips, look forward, belly pulling up and in. Strong core as we inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. If it feels okay with the legs, reverse the cross of the feet. We'll take the right hand to the mat. Inhale, left hand up and over. Big reach and stretch here, maybe looking up to the elbow. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale to fold forward, hands first. And then allow yourself to round down over the legs and feet. Since we reverse the cross of the legs, you should feel the stretch in the opposite hip as we come down. Inhale, lift to fingertips, navel pulling in, next breath in, reaching all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Go ahead and keep your left foot tucked in and extend your right leg. So we're in this seated tree position here. Right foot is flexed. Relax this left hip. Just softening it down. It's okay if the knee is still pointing up. We just want to relax and try not to clench. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, extend forward, fold down. Since we already stretched the legs, hamstrings are feeling pretty good. Maybe hands reach for the calf, the ankle, or the foot. And you can still keep a soft bend to the knee, but we can start relaxing the back of the knee toward the floor since we already created a lot of space in the back of the leg. Now we're thinking about spinal extension here. So you'll notice I'm not dropping my head or shoulders forward. I'm reaching my nose toward the toes, allowing my tailbone and my bum to sort of shift back toward the back of the mat and the spine to extend. Notice what your belly is doing. If it's soft and unsupporting,
are unsupportive, you're just going to weigh yourself down. So pull the navel in toward the spine. You'll find a little bit more extension forward. And taking both hands to the outside of the leg now, we're going to lift that left elbow and just take a peek under the arm. Keep that belly strong, looking underneath and feeling this left side body really turn on here, breathing deeply. Keep the crown of the head extending forward. Breathing in. Exhale, untwist, folding down over the leg, looking forward, strong belly. Inhale as we lift the arms up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Extend that left leg, and we'll bring the right foot in. Inhale, arms reach up, relax that right hip. Exhale, extend and fold. Again, we're thinking about extension here. So hips shifting back, crown of the head, and nose looking toward the toes. We're not folding down. Soft bend to the knee is okay, but do try to start relaxing it toward the mat. Connect with your breath. That was a logging truck. I'm sorry for the noise. Bring both hands to the outer leg or foot, and we'll lift that right elbow and take a nice little peek out under the arm. Still extending the crown of the head forward. And breathing into that right side body. Inhale. And exhale, untwist. Look to the toes, strong belly. Inhale as we lift. And exhale, hands to the heart. Go ahead and find a tabletop position. So coming onto hands and knees, we can't forget to warm up the wrists. So doing a few circles up and around the hands. I have found this to be especially important when I go for my runs because I'm also pushing my 2-year-old son in a stroller and it's awkward on the hands. So if you are like me and pushing something in front of you or even walking the dog with the leash around your wrist, this is still very essential to our running exercises as well. So come to the top of the right hand, gently circle around. And then shake that out before we come to the top of the left. And then shake out that left hand. Inhale through cow. Exhale, rounding the spine to cat. And again. Exhale. One more time. Breathing out. Inhale through table, tuck the toes, walk the hands a step or two in front. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel the length of the tailbone, reaching toward the sky, belly pressing to the thighs. You can pedal out the feet. Pressing into the palms of the hands. We're just doing slow movements. All of the stretches is still stuff that I would consider pre-run stretching. So just nice and gentle. And then finding stillness, big extension here, breathing in and out. On an inhale, we'll lift the right leg, bend the knee, and open the hip to the side. We're keeping the upper body squared to the mat here. We're just going to circle that knee out a couple of times. Lubricating the hip joint. And then extend the right leg way back. Exhale, bend the knee and shift your weight forward, foot between the hands, left knee grounds for the low lunge. Inhale to fingertips, look forward. Squeeze into the glutes slightly. Press into that big toe as we inhale, lift the arms up.
And exhale, a little back bend. Chest is lifting. We peel the arms back. Hip bones pressing forward. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands down to frame the right foot. Scoot those right toes forward. Lean forward. So as we lean forward here, it's a very small movement. We're just bringing that stretch to the top of the left thigh. And this is where the blocks might come in handy. We're going to be moving back to a half split. So you can use a block under each hand, or you can use your hands to the mat. Breathe in. Exhale, shift your weight back. We're going to stack the left hip over the right knee and extend the right leg, toes pointing to the ceiling. We can have the blocks in the hands, hands under the shoulders to start. And just like we did in our seated tree position here, we want to think about the hip bones pressing back, even on both sides, and the crown of the head extending forward. I'm not collapsing or dropping my spine. I'm finding extension, nose to toes. I'm going to start to take a soft bend to the elbows, bringing the belly closer to the thighs, but the belly and navel are still pulling up and in. For a little bit of extra challenge, go ahead, walk the hands toward the top of the mat. And without shifting all of your weight forward, find a little more extension toward those toes. Two more big breaths here. Slide the hands back under the shoulders. Inhale, shift your weight forward back to the low lunge. We'll bring both hands to the inner right foot and heel toe that right foot out to the side for lizard. We're going to keep the foot planted on the mat here. Walk the hands a step or two in front, and then the hips probably unsquared themselves. So pull that right hip back, left hip forward, and we're just going to take a little dip to the elbows here. We're not coming all the way down. I'm just creating a little bit of space between the hips. Keep that right hip plugging back. Navel pulling in toward the spine. Chin is lifted from the chest. Inhale, straighten the arms. Heel toe the right foot back to the center of the mat. Tuck the left toes. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, step the right foot back to meet the left in plank. And then ground the knees to table. Inhale through cow. And exhale to cat. Come back into table. Inhale, right toes reach behind. Feel the belly pulling up and in. Look forward, and we're going to lift that right foot. Feel the right glute squeeze and help with the support here. We also want to make sure we're strong in the supporting left leg. Bend the right knee. We're going to do 5 slow motion donkey kicks. So reaching up and down, up and down, squeezing the glute, up, lower, 2 more, up, lower the knee, keep the knee lifted over the mat, and we'll extend the leg again. Exhale, bend the knee into the chest, round into the spine. Inhale as the leg extends back, find a big lift. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, big lift back. Exhale, knee in. Last time. Inhale, big reach. And table. Shake out the hands. Tuck the toes. Breathe in. Exhale, down dog. Looking back at the feet, inhale, left leg rises, bend the knee, opening the hip, upper body squared to the mat, and circle out the leg a few times. Extend that left leg way back, breathe in, exhale, bend the knee, shift your weight forward for the low lunge. Foot between the hands, right knee grounds, inhale to fingertips, hip bones strongly pressing forward as we inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, peel it back. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down. We'll scoot those left toes forward, lean forward, stretch to the top of this right thigh. Breathe. Getting ready for that half split, so you can take the blocks in the hands, breathing in, and as we exhale, we'll shift the weight back, right hip over the knee, left leg extends, toes point to the ceiling. Starting with hands under the shoulders here, so we can square off the hips, pull in the navel, and find the extension forward. Remember, we're not dropping down. We're looking toward the top of the mat, looking toward the toes. And try also to keep the hips lifted here. So it can be easy to start to send the bum down toward the heels, but we want to keep the support of the pelvis pushing forward, hip bones pressing back. And then we'll take a soft bend to the elbows, bringing the belly closer to the thigh. For extra challenge, we'll walk the hands forward. Breathing. Next, inhale, bring the hands back under the shoulders, and then slowly shift your weight forward, back to the low lunge. Both hands to the inner left foot, heel toe it out to the edge for lizard. Square off the hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Hands walk a step or two in front, and we'll take that little bend to the elbows here, starting to dip the chest toward the mat. Keep the hips squaring off. As you start to deepen the fold, that left hip's going to want to pull forward, but we want to really make sure they stay square here because that's the whole point of this stretch. So make those subtle adjustments as you open up space. And inhale, lengthening the arms, heel toe the foot back to center. Tuck the right toes. Inhale, lift the knee, plant the hands. Exhale, step back to that high plank and ground the knees to table. Inhale through cow. Exhale to cat. Back in table. Inhale, left toes reach behind. Feel the belly pulling up and in. Look forward. We'll lift the toes. Feel the glute turn on, squeezing on both sides, supporting leg and floating leg. Bend the left knee, 5 slow motion donkey kicks. So reaching up and lowering. You can breathe in as you reach up. Exhale, coming down. Belly strong. Last one. Keep the knee lifted off the mat, extend the leg, breathing in. Exhale, bend the knee, shifting it forward under the chest, round the spine. Inhale, reach it back, find some lift here. Exhale, forward, core stays engaged the whole time. Bringing it in. Last time, inhale, reach back, forward. And ground to table. Shake out the hands. Tuck the toes. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the hands. And exhale, walk to the top of the mat, folding down over the feet. Release and let yourself go here. Grab opposite elbows. Sway a little bit from side to side. And finding stillness, release the hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Rolling up to stand. Big breath in as we come up. Arms out to the side, reaching up overhead. Look up to the hands. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're now shifting into the second half of the practice. This is what I like to call the post-run stretching. So as we all know, when we're finishing up a cardio practice, we're usually trying to regain control of the breath and start to slow everything down. So standing at the top of your mat, we're just going to reach the arms up. Exhale, bring them into the heart. We're going to do that 5 more times.
Chest is lifted. Squeeze slightly into the belly as you come down. Two more times using control. Last round. Exhale, hands to the heart. The top of the mat here, breathing in. Shift your weight to the right foot. Exhale, start to lift the left knee. And inhale, step that left foot back. Setting up for warrior one, we're going to start in a high lunge. So that means the heel is lifted. Hands can stay at the heart. And slightly turn those left toes so that they're pointing slightly out to the side, not forward like we do for our regular low lunge. So we're getting ready to put the heel down. Square off the hips. Power up this back leg. Lengthen the tailbone. Exhale, start to bring that left heel down to the mat. Inhale, lift up on the toes. And exhale, lower down. So we're just lifting and lowering. Stretching out the calf and the back of the knee. You can incorporate the arms now. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come back into the heart. As the heel comes down, really press your weight into that back leg. And just make sure that right knee is not going past the ankle. Last time, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're grounding through that back heel. Breathe here. Inhale, reach the arms up to frame the ears. Heel is still grounded. Notice if that left hip is pulling back. Make that subtle adjustment to square off those hips. Right knee is still stacking over the ankle. Next inhale will come high on the left toes. Exhale, straighten the right leg, setting up for pyramid. Soft bend to the knee is okay, but if the leg is completely straight, the quad is very strong. We're going to bring the hands to the hips. You're probably really starting to feel it in that back leg. Start extending yourself forward. So bringing the torso more parallel to the floor. Left heel is still lifted. Feel the hip bones rooting back. We're not dropping the head, looking forward. Maybe hands can stay on the hips. Maybe they come into the heart if that feels better. Or we have these blocks available. We're all the way down to the mat. Slowly start to lengthen that left heel down. Really press your weight into that back foot. Power up the front leg. Inhale, lift the heel. And then bring it down. Exhale, press the heel down. Shift your weight back. Left hip is still pulling forward. Lift the heel. Inhale. Last time coming down. Exhale. And now I want you to start to deepen the fold over that right leg. Again, soft bend to the knee is okay here. Keep the right hip pulling back as we start to bring the chest closer to the knee. Nose is still looking to the toes. And then inhale, shift your weight forward to a runner's lunge. Bend into the right knee. Left toes point forward. Look forward nice and slow. Bring the hands to the inner right foot. Turn the left toes to the long edge of the mat and the right toes to the long edge of the mat. So we're in a side bend on the right side, or a side lunge on the right side. Look forward, shift your weight into the heels. I'm on fingertips. Some of you might want to bring hands to the heart. Maybe even lifting those left toes off the mat. We can start to fold deeper here. Weight is in the heels. Right knee is not going past the ankle. Breathe. Feel those glutes power up underneath you. Hands to the mat. Slowly turn back to that runner's lunge. Toes forward, bending into the right knee. Plant the hands. Inhale.
Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. And exhale, walk feet to hands. Folding down, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rolling up to stand. Arms come out and up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Shift your weight into the left leg, moving right into the other side here. Slowly lift the right knee into the chest. Feel the belly tuck in. As we inhale, we'll take that step back. Starting in the high lunge, we're turning the right toes out ever so slightly toward the side. Heel is still lifted, making sure the left knee is not going past the ankle. Keeping the hands to the heart, squaring off those hips, we'll just begin to lift and lower that back heel. You can start nice and slow. Really thinking about that stretch in the calf. And trying to keep the hips even, so making those subtle adjustments. And feel that power through the back of that right leg as the heel comes down. Whole leg should be engaged. I'm going to start to incorporate the arms. So as we inhale, reaching the arms up, lifting the heel. Exhale, lower the heel, hands to the heart. Core is supporting us. Last time, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Warrior one. So the back leg is grounded. Really press into this back foot. Stack that front knee over the ankle. Feel the hip bones press forward. Inhale, reach the arms up to frame the ears. And breathe. Chest is lifted, looking strong. Smile if it's okay. That left hip pulling back. And bringing the hands back to the heart. Exhale. Inhale, come high on the right toes. Exhale, straighten that left leg. So we're still, right heel is lifted. You're really feeling it in that calf right now. We can keep the hands to the heart or hands to the hips as we slowly start extending ourselves forward. Heel is still lifted. As we start to come down here, think about where we want to keep the hands. Hips, heart, blocks, or all the way down to the mat as we find pyramid. Heel is still lifted here. Find the position of your arms. And then start to lower that back heel. Squaring off the hips. Lifting up onto the toes with a breath in. Exhale, lower it down. So we're just lifting and lowering nice and gentle. Not dropping the head. Coming up one last time. And then grounding that heel. Keep that left hip pulling back, right hip forward. And begin deepening your fold. Again, not dropping the head. We really want to find that power in the back leg. So soft bend to that front knee is okay, but really press into that back right foot. Belly pulling in. Inhale, bend into that right knee. Toes are forward, runner's lunge. Both hands to the inner left foot. Right toes turn to that long edge of the mat. Left toes turn to the long edge of the mat. Side lunge on the left. Sorry, I'm not facing you. Weight is in the heels. Strong glutes. Maybe we lift those right toes. Maybe the hands come into the heart. We're just breathing here. You might be able to deepen a little bit. Really strong in those glutes. Really strong in the belly. Make sure the left knee is not going past the ankle.
Go ahead, bring the hands down to the mat. Walk yourself forward back to the runner's lunge. Bending into the left knee. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, folding over the feet. Release yourself down. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Rolling up to stand, big breath in. Arms come out and up, look up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Weight shifts into that right leg. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Squeeze the belly in. Inhale, left toes reaching back. High lunge this time. We'll keep the heel lifted, toes forward. Inhale, arms reach up to frame the ears. We're going to do some dips with this back knee. Make sure that right knee does not go past the ankle, so we can always scoot forward a little bit here. Exhale, left knee lowers, not all the way down. Inhale, reaching up. So this action is coming from bending into the knee and then pressing the heel back to find the lift. Two more times. Dipping down. Coming up. Breathing in, look forward. Exhale, hands all the way down, framing the right foot. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, come high on your toes. Bend into the knees. And feel the belly rest on the thighs. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, shift your weight forward to a high plank. So shoulders come over the wrists, legs extend, heels press back. Belly is pulling up and inward, looking past the fingers. Breathing in. Exhale, shift the weight back, bend into the knees, heels are lifted. Belly pressing toward the thighs. Inhale, look forward. Shifting the weight forward to that high plank, nice and strong. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale, shift the weight back, bending into the knees, belly pressing toward the thighs. Look back at the feet and then soften the heels down. They don't have to be on the mat, but just softening them. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, walk to the top of the mat, folding over the feet. Halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale, fold. Rolling up to stand. Arms come out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release, inhale, reach them up. Exhale, shift your weight into that left foot. And start to lift the right knee into the chest. Feel the belly squeeze in. On an inhale, stepping back to that high plank. Heel is lifted, toes are forward. And we want to make sure that the left knee is not going to go past the ankle, so we can scoot that front foot forward or the back foot back just a little bit. And then inhale, arms coming up to frame the ears. Strong back leg, breathing in. Exhale, dip the knee down. And inhale, straighten the leg. Two more times. Breathe in. Exhale, hands all the way down, frame the left foot. Inhale. Exhale, step back to that high plank.
Breathe in. Exhale, knees to table. Inhale through cow. Exhale to cat. 2 more times. Coming into table, cross the ankles behind you. Bring the bum down and the feet forward. We're going to get ready to come down now. So finding our half boat position, knees bent, feet planted. Nice tall spine, belly pulling in, arms out to the side. Take a breath in. Exhale, feel that navel pull way back as though someone has a string tied to your tailbone back here. And one vertebrae at a time, we're going to begin extending ourselves down, all the way down to the mat. Breathing the whole way. Gently release the shoulders and the head, and then relax the arms and legs. Big breath into the belly, let it out with a sigh. Feel the spine neutralize to the floor. And take a moment to observe all of that sensation within the legs and the low body. We're going to keep the arms open to the side. You can bend the knees again and scoot the bum to the right. Extending the left leg, we're just winding down with a twist here. Take the right foot to the left knee. Breathe in here. As we exhale, we'll find the twist. Right knee coming over to the left. It does not have to reach the ground. Right shoulder stays grounded. And then soften into the legs. Release any clenching from the hips. And just breathe. Start slowing everything down. Inhale through center. Scoot your bum to the left and extend the right leg. Left foot to the right knee, breathing in. Exhale for the twist. Left shoulder stays grounded this time. Relax the legs. Maybe we look to the left hand. Inhale, moving back through center. Even out the hips. And then tuck the knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. And we're just going to circle the knees around a few times. So massaging the low back and across the top of the hips. And reversing the direction. Then we'll continue to circle the legs, but we'll open them wide apart and circle around. As the knees come together, we'll reverse the direction. Knees into the chest, and slowly begin to find Shavasana. If you'd like to take a block or bolster under the legs, that's totally fine. And if you're coming right down flat on the mat, walk the hip bones down. Feel the low back relax. Tuck the shoulder blades under and allow the palms to face the ceiling. As you find whatever position is comfortable for you, Really allow yourself to let go here. Let go of the belly. Let go of the throat. And you can soften or close the eyes. Find that connection with your natural breath. And just as we began class with, we'll begin building on each inhale and exhale, finding depth and length. We'll take 3 more of these big breaths. With your next deep inhale and exhale, release your control. Really surrender the body and the mind into this final posture. How much can you release and open yourself to receive? Allow your breath to deepen again slowly. Bring awareness back to the body, wiggling out the toes and the fingers, rocking the head gently from side to side. Inhale, reach and extend your arms overhead. Exhale, release. And one last time, we'll bring the knees to the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs. Give yourself a big squeeze and find those kind words to get you through the rest of the day, to get you through your run, and just for support for yourself. Whenever you're ready, roll to one side. Using an inhale, make your way up to your most comfortable seated position. We'll bring the hands to the heart and end our practice with a round of Om. Deep breath in. Exhale all the stale air. One more inhale for Om.
Thank you so much for practicing along with me today. I look forward to next time. Namaste.